Lesson 10.1, Task 3. So we're going to investigate the properties of logarithms graphically. And this first one says logarithmic functions can include different types of expressions, including sums, differences, products, and quotients. All right, so that's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. All right, consider the graphs of y equals log of x divided by 2 and log equals log of x minus log of 2. And just like in the last task, this graph looks identical to this graph. So it says compare the two graphs visually. What do you observe from the curve? The graphs appear to be the same. All right, so we've got x divided by 2 going to x minus 2. Okay, you still have the logarithms, but we're just looking at division is changing to subtraction. All right, so the graph of the functions together on a graphing calculator, use the table feature to compare the graphs. Okay, just like in the last task, the functions are equivalent. Okay, again, you can pull those up. You can graph that very quickly. Just go to y equals and graph this one, and then y equals and graph this one, and you can see the tables look the same. All right, you could also choose two other functions, just like we did in the last task, and you could see that those would be the same as well. So maybe choose log of x divided by 3, and then log of x minus log of 3, and you could see that those functions also are equivalent. So in general, this means that when you have log base b of m over n, that can be rewritten as log base b of m minus log base b of n. And that's another one of your logarithmic properties. All right, that's all for task 3. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, 10.1, task 4. All right, it says prove the properties of logarithms. A logarithm is the exponent to which a base must be raised in order to obtain a given number. So log base b of b to the m power equals m. It follows that log base b of b to the 0 power equals 1. Remember, anything to the 0 power equals 1. So log base b of 1 equals 0. And also log base b of b to the first power equals 1. So log base b of b equals 1. All right. Additional properties of logarithms are shown in the table. All right, you need to write these down in your notes. This is going to be very handy. You're going to need these as we're going to use these properties. All right, properties of logarithms. For any positive numbers, a, m, n, and b, b cannot be equal to 1, just like with exponential, and c cannot be equal to 1 as well. So the following properties hold. So the definition, or a definition-based property, so that's the ones we talked about. Log base b of b to the m equals m. Log base b of 1 is 0. And log base b of b equals 1. Okay, so that's kind of what this up here is explaining. All right, in one of the tasks, we looked at the product property, where you've got log base b of m times n. That can be written as log base b of m plus log base b of n. That's called the product property because you're going from multiplication to addition. Quotient means division, so quotient property, log base b of m divided by n, can be rewritten or equals log base b of m minus log base b of n. So division goes to subtraction. That is the quotient property. And then the power property, a power is an exponent. So the power property goes from log base b of m to the n power to n times log base b of n. So your exponent goes to the front and becomes the coefficient. That's called your power property. And then change of base, we looked at it in one of the notes before. Change of base, if you've got log c of a, if this is not a 10, we normally use change of base with 10 so that we can use the button on the calculator here. So we use this button if it has a base 10. So it would just be log of A over log of C. Okay, log of A over log of C to use change of base using your base 10 power. Now you can use any base. They're showing base B. But usually when we do change of base, we're doing base 10, so we can change it using the calculator. All right, that's all we're going to look at from task 4. If you have any questions, please let me know.